Okay. So there's our soul. Now, there's some things that we need to be aware of. There is energetic connection between the two halves of the soul. You are not this, you can't say that this person is I. That's not true. This is I. Right? All the laws that apply to the soul apply to the whole soul, not just to its half. So the I is you and the other half of you. That's I. Most of you don't believe that at this stage, and in fact you're completely unaware of that. And so what that does, your lack of awareness does, is it does this to you. It creates barriers internally between the two halves of the soul, which is why I've been drawing them like this. Right? The lack of awareness, and we're talking now about soul-based emotional awareness, so it makes no difference what I tell you intellectually at all. Right? What happens is there's got to be something that changes emotionally before this awareness process begins, the reconnection, if you like. But the reality is, from God's perspective, you're already connected to the other half. You're just unaware of it. And in fact, for many of you, you want to be unaware of it. In fact, for many of you, you'll want to be and continue unaware of it for hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. Just depends on your will and how you exercise your will to be unaware. So what you've done is you've created an I and another I and called them separate persons, separate beings. That's what you've done. Now, you imagine if our parents hadn't had this separation between the genders, or this desire to just be I based upon no connection with the other half. Well, it's very likely then, as children, that we'd grow up believing there is our other half somewhere as a part of us that we become aware of quite rapidly, which is what happened for myself in the first century, actually. I was aware that there was the other half of myself from a very, very young age, because I didn't have the injury at the time of the lack of awareness. The emotional barriers that caused me to not be aware did not exist. Does that make sense? And it wasn't because of me, it was because God chose to remove them, because if God didn't choose to remove them, nobody in the end would have learnt it. So he had to do something to make it change so we could become aware. So there's the I. The I is not you, not I. Is it all getting complicated already? The I is two of you, one as one. That's I. Yeah. You can see that any feelings of self-determination regarding the I just being me, AJ rather than myself and Mary, Jesus rather than Mary and Jesus, any self-determination has to be caused by emotional injury. And it is caused by emotional injury. And a lack of awareness. So, lack of personal awareness. So, Amber, you'd like to ask?